You know, originally, I was gonna make this video about my top 10 least favorite operators, like all-encompassing of every operator in the game, but I feel like that video would have had way too many 4 stars in it, and that would have been kinda boring. Instead, I'm making my top 10 least favorite 6-star operators, specifically. I know I made a tier list in the past, but it's outdated and my opinions have changed to say the least. Do keep in mind though, this is my list and my opinion, and feel free to disagree, but just don't be weird about it. I'll probably be crapping on at least one of your favorite operators here, so just remember, your favorite operator is not suddenly worse just because they're here. This is all for fun. Anyways, enough yapping. Let's go talk about why these characters suck ass. Starting off the list at number 10, we have Executor Alter. Executor the Foller. Truth be told, I don't even really dislike this guy, but someone had to be number 10, and unfortunately for old Executor here, he suffers from the I don't care about him syndrome. Meaning, I don't care about him. Executor has never really been a character that stood out to me. His design is fine, his kit seems fine, he just is fine. I think the coolest part about him is his background art though, but that's all I really care about. I should also mention his new skin with the live 2D art of him swapping to a child version of himself is very cool. But really the main issue is that I just don't have immense levels of hatred for him, nor do I like him that much. He's just kind of there. I want to build a 6-star Reaper, but I'm afraid I'm just going to be waiting for Entelekia. Number 9 is Passenger. Being completely honest here, Passenger could have been put at number 10 because I like chain casters a lot, but I think I settled to put him at number 9 instead because I prefer Executor's design a little more. I like his pink hair, and he also has nice E2 art and a skin, but Executor just has a vibe I like a little more in general, I guess. I've also been told that Passenger just really relies on his module to be good, though I think that's just a chain caster problem. Regardless though, there's no way I could put him lower than this because if I had him, I probably would build him, which is something I can't necessarily say for other operators on this list, so he gets that. At number 8, we got Suzerain. Let me explain this one, guys. I don't think she has an inherently bad design or anything, and she has an unlimited duration skill, which is definitely up my alley. The issue for me is that she's a child. I don't like children. All right, let me rephrase that. I don't enjoy using children characters in my gacha games. So it's more of just a personal preference thing than an actual disdain for her as a character. I'm sure I'm wrong on this somehow, and someone's gonna explain to me that she's not a child in some way, yada yada. I don't really care. It's the vibe I get, so you won't really change my mind, honestly. She has nice skins, she's got some nice utility, so perhaps I'll build her in the future, but I don't have her, and I'm not gonna go out of my way to get her. At number 7, we have Magellan. This is where we start having some problems. I don't hate Magellan, but I'm just not fond of her design. Big surprise. That's gonna be a running trend on the list. I'm pretty sure I've said this in my rating skins video, but construction work yellow is like not my thing at all. I don't really gel with construction work aesthetic much to begin with, so adding the signature bright yellow on top of it just makes me not like her design even more. I'll give credit where credit is due though. Her actual design, like her eyes, hair, and stuff is really nice. I think she herself is cute, but she's held back by a lackluster design, at least in my opinion. Her kit also doesn't really do her any favors. She's a summoner, and summoners are already hard to justify using because their summons replace deployment slots you could use for other operators, which makes me just not want to build her even more. So that's kind of unfortunate. At number 6, we got Neural Alter, or Neural the Radiant Knight, or NTR, which I mean, like, there's gotta be a better way to say that. I made it pretty known in the past that I'm not a big Neural enjoyer. I'm not even really fond of the Neural family of characters. Even Mjolnir, who's like a pretty chill guy. I'm not interested in him, and he's one of the best characters in the game. The only character I've actually come around to in the Neural family, I guess, of characters is Blemishine. She's adorable, love her, but this isn't about her, or them. This is about Neural, and Neural, to me, is boring. I said it, okay, she's boring. When I first saw her back in chapter 0, I think it was, I was like, oh boy, a generic Valiant Horse Knight type character. I've seen this before, and she didn't really do much to shatter that image for me. Not that she needed to, I don't have to like every character out there, and granted, I have not read the events associated with her, so perhaps my view of her could change, but it also just doesn't help that her design doesn't really speak to me in any way. She definitely looks better than her 5-star self, but I don't really find myself wanting her. I do want to acknowledge that her skin is actually very cool. I love the aqua blue color they went with. It really juxtaposes her color scheme in like a flashy way. Plus her actual kit is great too. I've borrowed her the odd time for strong true damage, like in the Dungeon Meshi event, but unfortunately that it just isn't enough to save her for me. If I end up getting her down the line, I won't be upset, but I also won't be like creaming my jeans or anything, right? At number 5, we got your boy Ak. Ak is weird to me, honestly. I get the impression that when they were making his kit, Hypergriff realized he was doing something so specific, they just had to like give him his own subclass of Geek, which they then forgot about probably, and later on remembered that Geek exists. So then they came to the realization of like, oh my god, how do we make them good at lower rarities? But then decided, well actually, we don't even need to make them good, and then shit out Spuria. So I guess it's not really Ak that weirds me out, it's more of the Geek subclass, but let's not dwell on that. Ak himself just doesn't really have a design I like very much. It's already hard to sell me on a furry type character, let alone a furry male. He's got some decent skins where he looks cool, but I've not been gripped by them honestly. And while his kit sounds fun, and I've seen some funny shenanigans in multiplayer, I've never once thought to myself, man, I really gotta build my Ak, dude. And that's honestly the best way I can summarize this guy. Someone who exists, I forget about them, I later remember they exist, and then decide I still don't want to use them anyway. Next up on the list at number 4 is Ebonholes. This dude screams extra. He's just extra. Maybe it's the whole classical music vibe to him that's putting me off, or just his like eccentric demeanor that I'm getting. But I mean, like, if you want to see proof of extra, just look at this dude's E2 art and skin art. I feel like there's too much going on. Like, is it just me, or is the bitrate of the image suffering from how much shit is on screen? Less is more, brother man. Let's preserve the image quality and cut some shit out. I will say his EP song is pretty solid, but at the same time, it just also feels extra. Like, this guy wants attention so bad, you could just fucking tell. I mean, even his kit screams like attention seeking. Watch me blow shit up. Did you see me blow shit up? I mean, he is a nuker, I get it. And like, big DPS intrigues me. Very fun, but not enough to want to build him. Sorry, bro. In third place, we have Helliger. You know, I feel bad putting him this low. I feel like I'm doing him dirty. Because in my tier list video, I said his E2 art was super cool. And it is super cool. But that's kind of where the things end for this guy. His subclass of Solo Blade doesn't interest me much outside of characters like Zwole and Akafuyu. Not to mention, I just think Zwole outshines him nowadays. I'm not 100% sure on that, but either way, I like Zwole more, so yikes. Helliger overall doesn't have like a horrendous design by any means. I think it's cool that he sort of looks like an older gentleman, which is something you don't always see, and his EN voice is Russian, so that's something. But I just genuinely have no interest in ever obtaining or building him. He still's a cool bird though. At number 2, we have Vina Victoria. Just kidding. It's Siege. Jared, didn't you just pull for Vina in your previous video? Yes, I did. Jared, isn't she just Siege, but different? Yes, she is. But, Jared, don't you already have a fully built Siege? Alright, enough questions. Alright, Jesus. Yes. It is true that I have a fully built Siege on my account. Why? I don't fucking know, man. I really don't know. I was up late one night, I was looking at my squad, and it was a full team of 6 stars, except for one unit, 5-star Texas. So I thought to myself, why don't I build a 6-star Pioneer? I guess I'll build Siege because there's no other options. Wrong. Incorrect. Stupid. What the fuck was I thinking, man? Saga and Flametail were right there. They exist. I have both of them. Why did I build Siege? Why did I do this? I don't know. I even went all the way. She's level 90. I gave her a module. I started giving her masteries. I bought her a fucking yacht. I wanted to build Posey at the time, but I couldn't do that because I blew my fucking mortgage on building Siege. She's not even that good. Saga does her job better, and I like Flametail more. I have both of those operators built now. But my most hated problem, and yes, this is going to be a very stupid one at that, let me tell you, it's going to be very stupid. She's at the very front of my operator list, so I have to see her longing gaze every time I open my operator list. What a fucking mistake this was. I know I could just use the favorite option and like favorite all my favorite operators and just do that and not see her, but that's besides the point, man. Siege is a lackluster unit who has no art of her that I really enjoy looking at outside of her E2 art, and that's not saying a lot. Her face is weird, she stares at me too much, and overall I'm just incredibly upset that I made the decision to waste so many resources on an operator I don't even use. Vina Victoria is pretty cool though. And finally, at the number 1 spot, it should be quite obvious if you've been around the channel long enough, it's Stain. You wake up to silence. Your room is pitch black, but you feel it. A presence. Your eyes slowly adjust. He's there, stainless. Goggles glinting like the eyes of something wrong. He's not breathing, and he's not blinking. He's just watching, as if he's already calculated everything you are. His mouth curls into a grin, wide, cold, and wrong. He speaks. Crikey, mate! Is he Australian? I don't fucking... And that's when it starts. The walls don't close in. reality does. Everything around you dims, folds, peels, not violently. It just erases, like you were never meant to be. And as you vanish, atom by atom, idea by idea, his goggles blink. You never even existed, and he's already watching someone else. His upcoming skin's pretty awesome, though.